Well, I'm Jeremy Gray, and welcome to Inside IU Softball with Coach Gardner. And Coach, 2 weeks of practice. How's the team looking so far, and what has been kind of your general point of emphasis in the early going here?
Well, I think, first it was just getting back into it, kind of a long break for us, but, we've been able to kind of get right into it and working on fundamentals and the things that we need to do to get ready to play in the spring, because really we have 14 more practices than we play.
And you look at your team, and this is a young team trying to replace some important parts from a year ago. How are they coming along?
Well, I think we are coming along. We've had some injury issues in our pitching department, but they're starting to heal up, which is a great thing. Replacing Morgan is not something that you just do, but we've got some good young kids in there, and I'm excited about the direction they're heading. And then obviously past that, it's just getting people in the right places, and people who are going to produce, and getting some continuity in the team. And obviously with Sarah Olson being gone now too, it's a matter of finding someone to replace her at first base, but yet we need to be able to score runs.
You also have some key returning parts at key positions on the field, behind home plate, shortstop, so you do have some pieces coming back.
Well, we do, and I think we're going to rely on them very heavily to lead the team, and obviously to just perform to their ability. I think obviously Bree Saucedo is a leader offensively and defensively for us, and staying healthy sometimes is the key in, I think, a lot of program success. When you've got as many returners as we've got, Cassie Gogri behind the plate that to me, she's an integral part of everything else that's going on.
Watched a couple of rounds of batting practice the other day. Jenna Abraham, pretty impressive. The ball really explodes off her bat. A lot of balls reaching the net on a fly, still going up as she was knocking it against live pitching.
Well, Jenna's looked very, very good throughout this spring. She's also healthy, and I think for her, even last year being an all-conference selection, she wasn't healthy all the time. So she's done some things and worked really hard for that reason. But I think we've got a lot of kids who, one, they came back in shape, and really we didn't really skip a beat between the fall and the spring, just getting back into playing shape.
First tournament February 10th through the 12th at New Mexico State, solid field there.
Well, and we start right off with UIC and New Mexico State, and they're both very competitive, and their programs have just gotten better and better. Obviously, when I was my previous job, I played New Mexico State quite a few times, but I'm just excited because it's kind of a different look for us. We haven't been there to play, but really we've got some great pools set up in a lot of our tournaments.
One of the first things that you did as the head coach here at Indiana is you were willing to play pretty much anyone, anywhere, at any time to toughen up your team to get ready for the rough and tumble Big Ten.
Well, and I think that has worked in our benefit in the past, and I'm not changing that by any stretch of the imagination. I just think we have to go out and play one game at a time, no matter who's on the other side of the field, whether it's UCLA or New Mexico State. I think we've got to be able to go out there, and then it is in preparation for Big Tens, because now we also have Nebraska in the Big Ten, which we play them at home this season, and they're notoriously very tough in softball. So I think you're going to see I think as the Big Ten has gone, the last couple years we might have been down a little bit as a conference, but we have certainly, everyone in there has worked very hard to pick that up. So games that used to seem like an easy game are no longer easy games, and I think it's just great for the conference.
One of the exciting things that's happening for the softball program here is the construction of a new stadium. This is very real now. We're looking at blueprints, not just artist renderings, but blueprints of the stadiums that are going to be built here in this entire athletic complex. And it's going to be gorgeous. It's going to be a great place for your kids to play, and also a major recruiting tool. Talk about how that whole process is going along.
Well, I think anytime you get a new stadium, there's a lot of excitement about it, and you look at the ins and outs, and on paper they always look good, and then you get to the integral parts, making sure we have all the things that we need to compete. And to me, it's a commitment that Indiana's making to the softball and baseball programs, which I think has needed to happen. And as far as recruiting, I'm going to be able to walk into our very own facility, locker, everything's going to be right there, and I'm excited for the team because they've worked extremely hard, and a lot of them been promised the stadium, and now really it is on the cusp of happening, and I'm thrilled to be in every meeting we have to talk about it and what we need or don't need. But it's going to be an amazing addition to a building program.
Softball is a great and underrated spectator sport, and the new stadium ought to be great for fans as well. And you're going to be able to play at different times now, too.
Yes, we will have lights. It kind of opens up, I think, our market for the evening games because now people are out of work, and considering we'll be right on the bypass, I think it really kind of puts us just in a little bit of a different area, which I really do think will draw more fans. But
no more parking in the mud.
No more parking in the mud. That is, to me, that's that, and we have our own restroom. So we're, I think you look at those types of things, and now it is fan friendly. It's going to be very fan friendly, and you're going to walk in and actually come down almost in like a bowl, which is awesome. I cannot tell you how excited I am about it.
Got to be excited not only to have a new stadium, but a new stadium in the southernmost school in the Big Ten.
And
I checked out the longitude and latitude in Nebraska too, just to make sure that still holds, and it does still hold.
Yes, it does. And that's been since I came to Indiana 4 years ago. That's kind of been my thing. We're the southernmost school in the Big Ten. I think we need to be competing for a Big Ten championship every year. And while that's being said, you got to have other pieces to the puzzle, and I think we've brought in some great athletes. I think now obviously the addition of the stadium, the north end zone certainly helped with the weight room, and the facilities that we have here are amazing. And now it's just a matter of continuing to build something. And I want to compete for the Big Ten championship every year, but want to get into regionals, want to have a chance to win a national championship.
Talking about new things and upgrades, how about Nate Weekers putting that together? It almost looks like a set here. Why don't you tell everybody about this photograph? It's a great shot right here.
Yes, this photograph was last year when we were playing Wisconsin, and Amanda Wagner came in to pinch hit and hit a walk-off home run. Actually, it might have been a grand slam if you want the truth, but it was a grand slam. But yeah, just the excitement of, I don't know, I think they just look excited to be Hoosiers.
No doubt about it. All right, we'll leave it there. Thanks so much for watching us here on Inside IU Softball with Coach Gardner.